Hey buddies, welcome back to Video Games Awesome Live. Let's keep this moving.
Hi guys.
Live.
Unless you're watching on YouTube. Oh!
Old LucasArts?
Oh!
What game is this? What is going on?
What?
Old Green Fandango.
Buenos dias.
I figured since it's coming back, we ought to watch the old classic trailer.
Never played.
Me neither.
Me neither.
I had no idea what it is until recently.
I just know it's
It's
bad.
It's not something that can really be summed up in a
Everybody here is
sentence.
just as dead as you.
As
That's
you'll
why
see.
we call it the land of the dead.
Manny, what are you doing here?
I wanted to see how your trip was going, Angel. I am your travel agent, you know.
So, it's
I could have walked faster than this.
an adventure game.
Híjole, I'm gonna miss the poisoning.
I'm not sure if it's
I want something cheap where I can get some rest. That's it.
point and
If you
click,
haven't back
but
the premium before the next sales report comes in, you're out.
Guess they couldn't save me, huh?
No, but there's still a chance you could save me.
Wow.
I was once a reaper like yourself, Manuel. But I uncovered a web of corruption in our beloved Department of Death.
Hector, no!
Looks like I've got one of your boys down
This-
here in the morgue.
Tell me, Manny, when I've had a
it was a
chance.
very weird game for its time.
Yeah.
Very different.
When was it?
Here,
Like-
stranger.
PS2
The quick
time?
little full
Really?
town she
Yeah.
used to me. I've got to get back to the city where the action is.
Manuel, are you in love with her? Love? Love is for the living, Sal. I'm only after her for
90
one reason.
fucking 8.
She's my ticket out of here.
Jesus.
Jesus Christ.
What was happening in that game?
That was
I
pretty
was in
Woodstock
high
99.
It was like 34 years ago?
Yeah.
God.
It's like the 17th century.
Now,
Ah! Wait! I'm getting out of here. This world's for suckers.
hey, he did every voice back then. I still don't really know what it is, besides that it involves Day of the Dead and, like, you know, in
I don't think I've
Mexican
played this game since 1998. We wanted everything about the interface. We wanted to have like no interface, so everything was literal. Nothing was like a metaphor. Because you know, in a normal interface, the cursor is a metaphor for like your attention point, what you're looking at, and the highlight of a cursor is kind of like a metaphor for this is interesting. And your inventory, your verbs when they come up are a metaphor for what you're thinking about doing to that object.
I thought he'd be a
We want
Mac
everything
user.
to be just literal. So like when you're walking around, instead of highlighting things in the room, he actually looks at the thing.
I also
when
didn't
that
think
came
he'd
up. And,
double fist 40s of Red Stripe.
We thought we were so clever for thinking of that. 'cause
He
there
wasn't
wasn't
double
many of that
fisting, but
in games at the time, like 3D games were not a big thing yet, and so head tracking, even though all games head track.
the really awesome thing about this little interview. Did you know 2-Player Productions, the creators of Indie Game the Movie, basically live there now
Oh, really?
in Double Fine Studios?
Really?
They were doing the thing with them for the Kickstarter game, the fucking Broken Age. They were commissioned
game?
to make that documentary for the backers, and eventually Double Fine was like, "You guys might as well work here." Even though, like, I'm surprised they actually took him up on it, because they have a very successful career making documentaries about every company, let alone just
Yeah.
one. But now they just basically live in and just like interview Tim all day about
You have a lot
things.
away from the game, and so it's very fresh to me. Like I have not spent a lot of time with those characters in that game. It's been.
But anyways,
15 years.
they dug up some old archive footage here, which is very awesome.
I was
20
talking to a friend
years
of mine
ago
who spent her
almost.
summer
Holy
up
shit.
in Alaska with all
Jesus.
these bikers, and she was telling me these stories about being in this bar with Big Rick and Smiling Phil, and the things they would do, and they just sounded so out of the normal daily experience of.
Yeah, they're
most people.
also doing Doc on Money Number 9 still, even though
Nice.
they're working therein. So they're still able to do other stuff.
yet people were kind of familiar with it. Kind of like.
Two Player didn't do Indie Game the movie. They did fucking the Penny Arcade documentary.
Oh.
Sorry, I fucked it up. Yeah.
Pirates and Cowboys. They kind of are familiar with the genre of bikers.
Remember when
so
your hair used to
they could
look
relate
like
to
that?
it, but it was still bigger than life, and it would be.
You're working on a new game
Too
right
soon.
now. I mean, what is it you're trying to do? Better graphics, better sound, better interface. What's the sort of holy grail of gamers?
Every game, we try to do more and more just a real story, a complicated story with a real human involvement. Like the new game I'm working on now, I try to do a story with just many more characters and that spans a long period of time for the characters' lives.
What a weird
it was a
era.
challenging project. It was very ambitious. When crunch mode was a lot more, like now we really try hard not to have crunch mode, but at the time we're like, let's do it. Let's just work around the clock all the time. And I was working there, I would start writing like at 9 o'clock at night and just write until 3 o'clock in the morning. I would listen to like loud, heavy metal music in my office just to stay awake. You know, you go home, you go to bed, just when you lay down to go to bed, you hear the garbage trucks coming in the morning, and you're like, oh, people are just waking up and I'm just trying to go to sleep, this is terrible. The team, like, by the end of it, didn't get along very well. Probably shouldn't mention that.
Funny.
I just thought that was neat that they dug up some old footage.
Yeah,
There was more to
totally.
it. You can go watch that on Double Fine's YouTube, and
that's fun.
it actually, I think the weirdest thing was watching old tech TV interviews and just making me want old tech TV back.
Aww.
Fuck.
You loved that shit.
Oh my god, it was a golden age in tech broadcasting, in tech journalism.
Yeah,
So it was a golden age in specialty channels. Discovery was still Discovery Channel.
Yep.
You know,
they
like
weren't all just reality TV
history
channels.
was still history on History Channel.
There
Like,
wasn't a single auction of a storage
TV
unit
really
on
fucking
TV
Yeah.
at that
sucks
point.
now.
If I don't pawn this TV,
there was a short time where the specialty channels actually specialized,
Yeah.
and then they realized that all they need to do is show reruns of Simpsons and Storage Wars,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and that people still watch.
I wish there was reruns of Simpsons.
Yeah, no, it's just.
They just play new Simpsons.
Yeah, really.
Ones now.
Whoops. All right, we'll be back right after this.
MTV had music videos.